Last weekend, Lisa and I went down to my mother's house in Key Biscayne, Florida, for her 86th birthday. Thank God she's there. Brett didn't go because his girlfriend had a birthday at the same time, and he went up to Boston instead. But she'll cut him out of the will. What do I care? Anyway, while I was there, I looked in our closet, which I don't normally do, but we were hanging up our stuff, and I saw this brown box, which looks like it's from the year 2, and in fact it was. And when I opened it up, it was filled with drawers full of these things. These are actually stereoscopic slides. It turns out that Grandpa, my mother's father, was a great early adapter. I remember as a kid, he had every gadget you could lay your hands on. They were kind of interesting sort of primitive versions of it. He had a telephone answering machine that was actually a record player, and when the phone rang, the record went around and the needle went down, and then an arm picked up the phone and the record said, "Hello, I'm not here, I'll call back later." He loved tech. He had the first auto dialing phone, which actually you put a punch card into, jammed into the phone and hit the button, the thing went tick, 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 and then it called up the number. So it's no surprise he got into stereo optical cameras. You'll see that these are really, most of these are from 1950s, and they mounted 2 slides because of the parallax effect. You took this photograph and it gives the impression of 3 dimensions when you look at it. Today, of course, virtual reality and 3D is all over the place, but this was an early iteration of this, which I thought was interesting. Now, when I brought the slides home, of course, I didn't have a way to look at it, so I had to go on eBay, and I got one of these. This is a realist viewer. You put little batteries in there. It takes 2 D-cell batteries, which are difficult enough to find, and then you stick the slide in. Of course, I can't show you the amazing view that you get with these slides, but you put the slide in there, and then you hit the button, you look in here, which I invite you to do, but you won't see much. But they actually make a remarkable, really shockingly real 3-dimensional views, which just goes to show you that some technologies never really take off, because you would think that this, I tell you, it's mind-blowing when you look at these 3-dimensional slides and you see them for the first time, and it's sort of astonishing, the quality. But of course, 3-dimensional photography never really took off. Otherwise, we would all have these instead of them being some sort of an oddity that you have to play around with. The reason they didn't take off, I guess, is that it was too complicated and cumbersome to buy one of these things every time you wanted to look at a picture. It was much easier just to put them in those albums they used to stick the corners into, and you could flip through them whenever you wanted to. It's an interesting commentary on technology. Not all new technologies take off so rapidly. I got actually the first Oculus, and by the time I put the thing on and worked it out, it was such a pain to stick it on your face. It was like a skin diving mask that I thought, I am never doing this again. So I still have the Oculus. If you'd like it, you have it. Anyway, while I was going through this, I also came across this thing, which I thought you'd find interesting. This is a Tandy 200 portable computer. Hard to believe, but it also takes D-cell batteries, and maybe one day I'll fire it up and use it. Just look at it this way. It actually ran on batteries. I got this when I was working at CBS. They gave it, I still have my CBS phone number here. They gave it out to employees. It actually makes 5 lines of text, and what we were supposed to do was we were supposed to write the script on these things, and then you hooked it to a telephone with 2 suction cups just stuck on the end of the phone. You dialed up the CBS number that went through that thing until it made the connection, and then you were able to download the script. It was really the first laptop computer. It didn't do a lot. What it did was a lot of word processing, and maybe next time I'll actually have the only D-cell batteries I could find I put in here. But maybe I'll get more D-cell batteries and fire this thing up and show it to you. The whole point of showing you these old technologies is to say that these were really the starting point of the stuff that we see today. I mean, we do everything on laptops or tablets or phones, and we don't really think about the antecedents for these things, or we're now getting into the world of VR and 3D television and stuff like that. But the antecedents were here a long time ago. The fact is that technology comes first, and the application comes a long time afterwards. But I'm going to keep looking around, and maybe next time I'll fire up this Tandy 200 and send you a 12-line message, which actually is a lot more than you get on Twitter if you think about it, because you only get 140 characters. See you later.